All right, so welcome back to the Remington Rolling Block project. So a lot has changed since the last video. We finally got these two pivot pins done here. These are 479 diameter. They've got the appropriate shoulders on them, and now they've got the longitudinal key in there. I've got to kind of mess with this key a little bit. It's still got some sharp edges on it. The extractor has its relief cut for the retainer screw. The retainer screw's in there right now. One of these fancy 316 thumb screws from MasterCard, just because I thought it would look nice. The receiver pin, the strengthening pin, whatever you want to call it, is actually an AK long rivet that I hand hammered into place. It's the perfect size. I didn't feel like drilling it out, didn't feel like putting in a different pin, so there's that, a little something extra. Use what you got laying around, right? This screw hole on the other side has now been helicoiled to 1032, so that's in there real good. This is also 1032, so these are in there nice and tight, so everything fits together and functions together pretty well. All right, so moving on to the scope and the scope mount right here. This has been kind of a weird process to do. I actually managed to dig up the instructions for installing the scope. If you would like to, pause the video right now and read it. So there's that for you. So it turns out that this scope is actually one of those weird ones where all your adjustment is on the base. I've got I believe it's a Bolivar scope around here that's got the same thing going on with it, but of course I don't have the base for it, so whatever. But there are no adjustments whatsoever on the scope for your windage and elevation, all that sort of thing. All your adjustment is down here on the base. So that's why getting this base exactly straight, parallel, and all that sort of thing is really important. But managed to do that. It's 648 screws. They're real short too, so that worked out. The hardest part about this is getting all these adjustments just right, because when you let's just face it, this is a pretty cheap, crappy scope. But when you go to clamp it on here, I mean, it just moves wildly out of position, you know, back and forth, side to side, that type of thing. So what I did was I got it pretty much bore-sided using my little laser, and I tightened these down an equal amount of turns, and then I used the base to bring it in, and then I made sure that, you know, it didn't want to move and all that sort of thing, so whatever. The only two adjustments that are actually on the scope are for this screw back here and this screw up here. So this one is your reticle focus. So this adjusts how sharp the reticle is, you know, based on your eyeballs and your eye relief. And then this is your lens focus, and that is it. So again, kind of a cheap, crappy, weird scope, but it's on there. We'll see how it does. I'm not expecting anything spectacular, but I would be pleased if it did okay. So we'll see how that goes. But moving on from there, I got the four stock pretty much fitted on there right now. I need some more work, but this is actually I think it was back in 2020 up until now. There's been a boatload of those beat up Ishapore 410 Enfields coming into the country, and this is actually a leftover stock piece from one of those, because this is inletted to the Enfield barrel. But it just so happens that this is pretty much the same diameter as the Enfield barrel itself. So need a little bit of fitting down there to get over this shoulder. And I've got this pretty much started to hook into the receiver right here. So what I'll end up doing is cutting pretty much right here and then shaping the end of this to make it look nice. And then I might make a barrel band, or see if I got a barrel band floating around here to put on there. But for right now, this is how it's going to look for test fire. So I want to take it out to the range, see how it does, see if everything's working the way it should. I don't have any doubts, but you know, it's one of those things where you'd rather take it out and test it now before, you know, you put on paint and then you realize you got to do more machine work and all that sort of thing. But that's where we're at now. So that, boom. But yeah, this is where we're at right now. I'm also going to take this and bend it back down a little bit more and then polish it off, because it's kind of hard getting your finger up in this area with this scope tube in the way. That's how close you got to mount the scope. I wear glasses, so I got to mount shit really close. And this has, I think, according to the to literature here, 1.25 inches of eye relief. It's not very far. It's on there somewhere. But yeah. 1.75 inches of eye relief. Never mind. But yeah, you got to mount it pretty close. So we'll take it out, test fire it, see how it does, and then after that, finish up, treating the stock. I might linseed oil this. Obviously, I got to do something with the fore end. I might linseed oil that one too. I still got to finish sanding it down a little bit. This is pretty grimy and oil soaked, but clean it up and see what I can do with that. And I'm probably gonna actually just end up painting the receiver. I might cold blue these. I might just end up painting them. I don't know. And I'll paint the barrel, get that all done and taken care of. So, and then after that, it's done. This is basically a functioning single-shot .22 rifle at this point in time. So, this will probably be the second to last video. The last one will obviously be taking it out, and after it's all finished, taking it out and seeing if we can really use it for its intended purpose of being a contemporary target shooting rifle. So, again, this has been a really fun project. It's been a long time, but it's been a lot of fun. A lot of hand fitting though. So this has been a true test in patience, and it's been nice. Oh, and that was the other thing too. I forgot to show you guys. The dovetails on the barrel have been filled in, and they disappeared. Isn't that funny? Let me swap it around here for you. Yeah, the other dovetail is completely gone. So yeah, that's using some of that dovetail key stock from Brownells. Yeah, we'll take it out, shoot it, see how it does. Oh, and I gotta fix the firing pin too. So I still gotta drill the hole for the pin. But yeah, thanks for watching, and happy building.